I don't even know what to say. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Bleeding B&G. As you see, I don't have too much enthusiasm. I don't have too much excitement because, we can only give it to you one way over here at Bleeding B&G, and that's raw, uncut, and unfiltered. And I can't muster up any fake energy for this team, this 2025 Washington Commanders, much longer. I can't do it. I can't. So before I get too deep into this video, let me give you a timestamp as I do for all of my videos. It's the wee hours of Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. And I'm a couple hours removed from being boots on the ground in Northwest Stadium to watch the Washington Commanders. I'm not even going to say our beloved. They not. Ain't nothing beloved about this fucking team this year. Watching the Washington Commanders getting emasculated by the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football on primetime yet again. Another blowout loss on primetime yet again to the tune of 38-14. Now, before I get too deep into this video, be sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button so you're not missing any of this content from us over here at Bleeding B&G. And one thing I can promise today is, even though it's almost 2 in the morning over here, I promise to give you more effort than the Washington Commanders gave us tonight. I can assure you of that. Because I don't know what the fuck I just witnessed in row 8 of section 139 in Northwest Stadium. Yeah, I just doxed the shit out of myself, but I don't give a fuck. Pull up on me if you want. I could fight anybody at this point. Mike Tyson don't want a chance with me this fucking week. Not after watching this sorry-ass team. Prime Mike Tyson, not that Jake Paul shit we watched last year. I could take prime Mike Tyson. How infuriating it is watching this fucking 2025 Washington Commander. And y'all know I usually run down the stats and try to be as PC and professional as possible. But y'all gonna have to forgive me today. Y'all are gonna have to forgive me today. I'm not running over any stats. I'm not going over any stats. What the fuck more can I say about a 38-14 blowout loss? So I just ask y'all this. I just ask y'all to allow me this platform and this stage to get some things off my chest. If you want to call it a crash out, if you want to call it a rant, just make sure that you stay, because I promise it's going to be entertaining. Because I got some things to say about this motherfucking team. Because all week on social media, on all my socials, Instagram at BleedingBNG, X at BleedingBNG, you see it in the corner right there. Y'all told me last week on socials all week that I was doing the most, that I was crashing out, that I was exaggerating, acting like the world was about to end at 3-5. Well, can we check the temperature in the room now? Let me know. Can we check the temperature in the room now? And I actually want to give y'all credit. Y'all were 100% right last week. That wasn't the end of the world. You guys were right. We were wrong over here Bleeding B&G. This is fucking rock bottom if I've ever seen rock bottom before. This is the season of hell from hell. Just like other seasons from hell that I've experienced in my years as a Washington football, Redskin commander, whatever the fuck you want to call us. I've experienced seasons from hell from all of them at this point. No matter the name. No matter the name. Because 5 weeks ago, I said it felt like another season from hell in 2013 in here. And everybody jumped on me to say, oh, man, don't you compare JD5 to RG3, even though I'm one of the fucking leaders in the Commanders content space of telling y'all not to compare JD5 to RG3. I was one of the first ones in the content space to tell you about Jayden Daniels in the fucking first place. So why the fuck would I want him to be some disaster story that RG3 turned out to be? But when I made that comparison about the 2025 season to the 2013 season, everybody jumped on. Like I said, oh man, don't be comparing those. Don't put that smut on JD5's name. He'll never be Robert. He'll never be Robert. Like it's not fucking 52 other players on those rosters respectively. Like there's now 52 other players on that roster that make up the 2025 Washington Commanders and the 2013 Washington Redskins. Because you know what? You know some of the reasons why I said this felt like 2013? Because in 2013, we had a piss-poor ass defense that was led by a once future Hall of Fame linebacker that is fucking cooked. That is fucking flame broiled. Filet mignon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's 2 a.m. I'm liable to say some crazy shit. This team is ass. I'm even more liable to say some crazy shit. Does that sound familiar? Piss poor ass defense led by a 96-year-old linebacker. In 2013, it was London Fletcher. In 2025, it's Bobby Wagner. Well, guess what? After another blowout loss in primetime, with the world watching, that same world that just saw my franchise quarterback's fucking elbow explode, fucking elbow turn into fucking blow up into smithereens. My guy, the burgundy and golden boy, the guy I got right there on the wall. If this season couldn't get any worse. If this season can't get any worse. Now he's out for what looks like to be a season-ending injury. Allowing all the JD5 naysayers to come out of the woodworks. It took y'all fucking 25 games to do it. Oh, man, this is the sophomore slump that we were talking about. Oh, man, I told you about his slender flame coming out as a draft prospect. And guess what? I just got to sit here and be quiet. Because you know what they're not going to say, all those naysayers? They're not going to add the context that Jayden been fucking throwing the cashiers and mailmen all year in the games that he has played. But like I said, where the world just saw my GOAT, my guy, his fucking elbow blowing to fucking pieces against the Seattle Seahawks nonetheless. What the fuck is up with us in the Seattle Seahawks? What the fuck do the Seattle Seahawks have against my fucking quarterbacks? I'm about to start a petition to never play the fucking Seattle Seahawks again. Because this shit makes no sense. This shit makes no sense at all. And guess what? Yeah, you know, I want to stray away from the RG3 and the JD5 comparisons as much as possible. But you can't ignore the parallels that's there. Black mobile quarterback taking the fucking franchise that was from the pits to levels that they hadn't seen in years. And then they suffer fucking season-ending, in Jayden's case, career-threatening in Robert's case, injuries against the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be 30. I'll turn 30 this month. And I've heard in so many of my years as a Washington fan about how this organization is cursed. So guess what? If we really believe that this organization is cursed, you can't ignore the parallels. No matter how much you want to stray away from the JD5 and the RG3 comparisons. I get it. I understand it. I'm scoring too. I'm scoring too. You know why I'm scoring? Because you know what tonight felt like? Tonight felt like all the times that I watched this team get belt put the ass to them, especially in prime time, in my damn near 30 years as a fan. From the Monday Night Massacre with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2010 to the Pittsburgh Steelers coming to FedEx Field at the time and making that shit look like a fucking Wiz Khalifa video, to going down to Dallas in 2021 and Deron Payne and John Allen throwing hands like Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson, like Evander Holyfield and George Foreman. I'm so used to getting embarrassed in primetime. I'm so used to it. And that's what tonight felt like. All the way down to the fucking jerseys. All the way down to them fucking jerseys that y'all asked for. That y'all asked for. That y'all can't seem to let go. I know they call these the Super Bowl era jerseys, right? And I get it. Those are jerseys that they wore when the Washington Redskins at the time was winning Super Bowls, right? I turned 30. I keep saying it. The only thing that I associate those jerseys that they wore tonight with is being fucking ass. The only thing I associate those burgundy and gold jerseys that they wore today with the stripes that all of y'all wanted to glaze over, drooling at the mouth, wipe your fucking lip. Wipe your fucking lip. Because me, to be 100% honest, why I don't love every Washington Commander jersey design, I'm trying to get away, as far away from that fucking past, as far away from that past that I've experienced that gave me the fucking childhood trauma, the adolescence trauma, the young adult trauma, as possible. As possible. You can switch the owner, you can switch the GM, you can switch the head coach. I'm really starting to believe that this organization is cursed. I'm really starting to believe that. And I'm really starting to believe that 2024 was the anomaly. Because we're not allowed to have nice things. We're not. Not even just as Washington Commanders. We're not allowed to have nice things in D.C. This is a cursed sports city. From Gilbert Arenas, me blowing up the smithereens before he went fucking cuckoo crazy and turned into Rambo. John Wall out here doing analysis at 33 because his Achilles fucking is hanging on by a thread like our season was before today. To RG3 to JD5. We just can't have nice things in DC. I'm convinced. Shout out to Ovi. You the GOAT. Ovi walking around with garlic around his neck. I don't know what the fuck it is. And that's the reason why I'm so depressed and I'm so, like, flustered. Because if 2024 was the anomaly, how many more 12-5 seasons or double-digit win seasons am I going to see in my life? I don't mean to be morbid, but I ain't getting no younger, bro. Yeah, I'm young. I get it. A lot of y'all that watch these videos are way older than me, right? But the best way to have a sustained success in the NFL is having elite quarterback play. But what the fuck is that? What good is that elite quarterback if he's on the sideline week in and week out? And you know it's going to eventually come to a point, and I promise you I'm not putting this on Jayden Daniels. I'm not putting this jacket on Jayden Daniels. Not right now, but I've watched the NFL too many times. Well, I've watched the NFL for so long. Too many times, so long, whatever, all of it fit. All of it's adequate. All of it is appropriate. I've watched too much of the NFL to not acknowledge that when those hits start to add up, this is Jayden Daniels' third different major injury this year that's going to keep him out of games. And it gets to a point when those hits start to add up, that once elite talent ain't elite no more due to the fact that those hits piled up. And solely due to the fact that all of those hits piled up. And they simply can't perform at the athletic capacity that they once did. And I hope that's not the road that Jayden Daniels is going down. I hope it's not. But when you step back and look at his 2000, if this was the end of his 2025 season, and I pray that it is, because I told you a month ago that I don't want to be on Jayden watch week in and week out, because that's going to become draining. Not only for me, because who am I in a big scope of things? That's going to become draining for everybody in the building, in the organization. And you know the worst thing about this injury? Because it is an elbow injury on his off arm, his non-throwing arm. So realistically, Jayden Daniels, as cerebral as I've always said that he is on this channel, on this podcast, I believe that he's going to bounce back and be the Jayden Daniels of before. Whether that be 2024 or the flashes that we saw this year, I think that he can get back to that. Absolutely. I honestly think the worst part about this injury is that it's going to allow this fucking organization to skate by for yet another week. Because after this performance today, prior to the Jayden Daniels injury, he got hurt with 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. This performance prior to the Jayden Daniels injury was warranted of somebody getting fired. Somebody's head need to be on a pitchfork at this point. Yeah, I know Dan Quinn and Joe Witt are boys. I know they butt buddies. I get it. But you just can't be getting thrashed on national TV week in and week out and nothing get done about it. But because Jayden Daniels' injury is going to be the story of this week, I honestly don't think anything's going to change. Because Dan Quinn told us shit was going to change 2 weeks ago, and we saw it change for 2 quarters. And it went right back to the same old bullshit. We saw it change in the first half against the Kansas City Chiefs. And we don't even really know, unless you really know ball like we do, and we know the different personnels that they use, the different fronts and alignments. Dan Quinn ain't even know what the fuck they was going to change. He told y'all he was going to make some changes, and then he came back the next day and was like, yeah, they're just going to play harder. They're just going to play harder. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I'm concerned for Jayden Daniels. Because Jayden Daniels, yeah, they was preaching culture and brotherhood and all that last year, and all the cliches and all the sayings that was sounding cute, making it seem like, you know, it was the team that was doing it. In all reality, we knew it was Jayden Daniels. We knew it was Jayden Daniels. And guess what? This roster is worse than last year. Jayden Daniels, the only blue chip prospect, only blue chip talent on this roster. We got some decent other players. They're not blue chippers like Jayden Daniels. We don't have anybody else that's top 10 in their position in the NFL. Nobody else. And you expect us to compete with the likes of the Philadelphia Eagles. That Seattle Seahawks team that we just played. Shitting me. The reason that we was only 3-point underdogs is because of Jayden Daniels coming off of a hamstring. And I can't help but to feel like part of these injuries, because this last injury that he suffered before this was a hamstring injury, is due to overuse, because he knows that he's the only goddamn thing on this motherfucking roster on both sides of the ball. Jayden Daniels the only playmaker that we got on this roster. Yeah, y'all boy Terry McLaurin, he good for a good contested catch every now and then. He is. Never said that he wasn't a leader that. But guess what? You're never going to find a quarterback that's going to throw contested catches for 4 quarters of the game. It's the reason why Terry McLaurin is so good at the contested catch, because he can't separate to save a damn. And Terry McLaurin would have been great to have out there today. Unfortunately, he's not. We know why. Don't want to harp on it too much because we've already told you how this was going to go. But boy, do I miss some Terry McLaurin. Pause. When we out there trotting out fucking cashiers like Chris Moore and then T-Rex arm ass Jalen Lane out there with fumbleitis. Jalen Lane built like my little brother out there, motherfucker, returning punts, fumbling all over the place. Returning kicks, fumbling all over the place. Catch radius about this wide. And these are the guys that we got to expect to make plays. That's why I said everybody has a hand at fault. Everybody does. Because guess what? Everybody got the credit in 2024, the brotherhood. Anywhere, anytime, any place. Badass motherfuckers. Let AP cook. Everybody got the credit in 2024 when we really knew it was really Jayden Daniels as being fucking Jayden Daniels, an elite talent that he is. Well, everybody gets the blame in 2025. Because let's call a spade a spade. Dan Quinn, DQ, whatever you like to call him, Dan Quinn been ass this year. Dan Quinn has been ass this year. From the clock mismanagement to the timeout mismanagement, he's been Ron Rivera with a Harley Davidson this year. Dan Quinn has been Ron Rivera with a Harley Davidson chopper this year. And a leather jacket. Or the leather diamond encrusted jacket. And a bandana. That's what Dan Quinn has been this year. From the timeout mismanagement to the clock mismanagement to leaving Jayden Daniels out there in the fourth quarter of a 30 fucking point blowout. Running fucking RPO. Running RPOs with postmen and cashiers. And niggas is about to be working with me next week. And guess what? I'm going to put the fault at Dan Quinn's feet for having Jayden Daniels out there. But I'm looking squarely at Cliff Kingsbury for running that dumbass RPO. You know, Cliff, oh, I'm the smartest guy in the room. Face ass Kingsbury, bro. I'm done with these niggas, bro. Cliff Kingsbury didn't run the ball once on the first drive. With your quarterback returning from injury against one of the best defenses in the NFL. We received the ball. I don't believe it was a 3-and-out. We received the ball to what? It wasn't even, we didn't even throw 4 passes. We dropped back 4 times. Because from the very first play, Jayden Daniels was running for his fucking life. And on that play, it's because the wide receivers, I know they had those Super Bowl era jerseys on today. Those Super Bowl era jerseys must have came with a side of Velcro because them boys was getting clamped. Oh, my God. Them boys was getting locked up. They wouldn't let them out. Devin Weatherspoon, Tyreek Woolen, ease the fuck up off my guys. God damn. God damn. But from the very first play, when Jayden Daniels dropped back, he was running for his life all game. And it's not like he had a ton of yards. He was running for pressure. And it wasn't always the offensive line. And then there were some times where it was the offensive line. That's why I said, like, I don't know how to fix this team. We bad in all areas. We suck. We suck. We suck. Cliff Kingsbury don't know how to marry the run game with the pass game to save his life. Cliff Kingsbury gets his run plays from the Ask Madden feature on Madden. I'm convinced. Cliff goes like, he hop on the PS5. He turned on the PS5 like every Tuesday. Probably go to practice mode. Hit Ask Madden for the run plays. And those are the 5 run plays that he dialing up all game. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced of it. Because how the fuck we go from averaging 200 yards over the first 3 weeks of the season to these 2.5 yards per carry that we've averaged for the last month in this 4-game losing streak? But we didn't win a game in a month. We haven't won a football game in a month. And the reality of the situation if we really want to keep it a bean and be honest about the 2025 Washington Commanders, we beat the sorry-ass New York Giants, the sorry-ass Oakland Raiders, and the Los Angeles Chargers that had they freshman offensive line out there. They ain't even had JV out there. They had the freshman offensive line. Them niggas had fifth strings out there. I probably could have blocked on the Chargers line that day. These are 3 teams that we beat. We are not good. We are not good. Our best wins have came against the Giants, the Raiders. Our only wins. The bottom of the barrel of the NFL. Because guess what? That's where we belong. That's where we are this year in 2025. Especially if Jayden Daniels, ain't no if. Jayden Daniels ain't playing no more this season. Why would he? Why would he? This season is the shits. Season from hell. I'm about to go to Madrid in Spain in a week and a half. I know, first world problems. To watch fucking Marcus Mariota. You think that was my intentions 4 months ago when I booked this flight and bought these tickets? You think I paid $3,000 on a Spain trip to go watch fucking Marcus Mariota? I'm gonna let you take a guess. I'm gonna let you take a guess. You thought that was in the cards. Getting back to this coaching staff, man. Joe Witt, bro, you don't know what the fuck to do. Joe Witt, you don't know what the fuck to do, bro. And y'all know I've been trying to give Joe Witt as many passes as possible because I don't believe he has the personnel. Got a whole bunch of old guys getting cooked, but guess what? Even the young guys getting cooked. Mikey Sanderson, cheeks. I know he caught an interception today. That's after giving up a touchdown against the Washington Get Rights. It wouldn't be the Washington Get Rights if we ain't let some alias-ass wide receiver or some alias-ass offensive skill player get right. Today was Torrey Horton. I saw that Cooper Kupp was inactive. I thought we was getting a break. Little did I know. Why is it little did I know? No, silly me. It's so like the Washington Get Rights. The Washington Get Rights turned Torrey Horton into Torrey Holt today. That nigga looked like greatest show on turf, Torrey Holt today. Go look back at Torrey Horton's second touchdown. Go look at all the members of the secondary like this. Like they do a sign language. Like they miming like Shedeur Sanders. The defense is clueless. The defensive coordinator is clueless. I mean, what the fuck do we expect, bro? We got a cross-eyed defensive coordinator. No way he looking at the field in the press box. He got one eye focus on each wall. No way he looking at the game. Because how the fuck we ain't made no changes all year? This defense has Sam Darnold looking like prime Peyton Manning today. Y'all know Sam Darnold ain't have an incompletion in the first half? Bro had like 40 fantasy points in the first half. Sam Darnold looked like Mr. Ghost himself. Sam Darnold looked like the greatest quarterback in the world today. I mean, it's so like the Washington Get Rights. Quarterback in the front, play the Washington Commanders. We'll get you right. Kenneth Walker looked like Barry Sanders out this bitch. I got him in fantasy. I was about to drop him. He been so ass this year. Everybody nice against this. I might go for 175 and 2 touchdowns against this Joe Witt defense. Put me up against Mikey Sanderson. We about the same speed. We probably got the same long speed if I'm being 100% honest with you. This roster is ass. Like I said, everybody's at fault. AP, you ain't doing enough cooking, bro. The results are in. The verdict is in. You didn't do enough cooking this offseason. Like I said, y'all know, I agree with AP during this whole Terry McLaurin contract negotiation saga. But I do think he neglected the rest of that room. And I don't know if he thought that Jayden Daniels was this talent force multiplier and expecting him to be the greatest quarterback of all time in his second year. And even though I think Jayden Daniels is a talent elevator, excuse me. I'm talking crazy. I do think that Jayden Daniels is a talent elevator. I do. You can only elevate McDonald's workers, but so far. You can elevate a McDonald's cashier to maybe a practice squad guy. You're not turning him into a wide receiver 1. You're not turning him into a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 3. You can only elevate postman, but so much. And these are the type of guys that Jayden Daniels been surrounded with all year in the games that he's played. Them and pregnant Deebo Samuel. That has hit that time of the month or that time of the season. You see the love handle starting to creep in. Deebo got the beer belly and it ain't even Thanksgiving yet. What's gonna be his excuse this year? Oh, the hill. I couldn't run on the hill. Last year was the pneumonia. We're cooked. We suck. Adam Peters spent all those resources on this offensive line for this offensive line to be dog shit. All those picks for Laramie Tunsil. First round pick on Josh Connolly, who was a developmental left tackle that you may switch positions. And his ass. No matter all the disclaimers that y'all want to put out there. Yeah, I've acknowledged it, but that don't mean he playing well. And then not only that, and not only Jaden's injury that we've spoken about for the majority of this episode, but it looks like Luke McCaffrey and Marshawn Lattimore both suffered injuries that's going to keep them out for, if not the season, long term. Marshawn Lattimore went to the tent, came out, dapped up all his DBs. I watched it with my own 2 eyes on the sideline and walked out with his head on the towel with a knee on his brace, with a brace on his knee. I think Luke McCaffrey broke his collarbone. Why the fuck we coming back for this season anyway? Shit, I wouldn't blame you. This season's cut. This is the season from hell, and I think that's what we're going to title this episode. Hell Raised. Hell. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. As always, if you're listening to us on audio-only platforms like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating, please leave a review. That's how we finesse these algorithms so that Bleeding B&G is that #1 content hub that pops up in your search bar. If you're not following us on social media, I don't know what you're doing, but it's right there. Right there. At Bleeding B&G. BLEEDING. BNG on Instagram. BLEEDIN BNG on X. So there's only one G in our X handle. If you want to leave a donation, our Cash App is there as well. But yeah, I don't know, man. We suck. Reaction video coming out tomorrow. If you like crash outs, if you like rants, that's going to be the video for you. I advise you might not want to wear headphones for that one. But I'll check in on y'all on the flip side, man. I need to go to sleep because the Washington Commanders was asleep all night, and I was at the game putting in more work than them. Peace.